kind of born into Sheepy Road, really. I mean, this house is based on Fire Road, so I live just across the road from the stadium. So really, it's my earliest memories really from the minute I could walk. My dad was involved in the club in the early 70s. So when I was about 4 or 5 years old, you know, I was allowed to go over not just to matches but to training and all that. And the green outside here, we used to play football as kids because there's no Xbox or whatever in them days. So we played kind of, you know, kick around football on the green in the shadow of the stadium. And for us, that was like Wembley Stadium, you know, it was like Roy the Rovers stuff really. And so we used to go over and watch the games when the Adders were Southern League then. They'd gone from Midland Alliance to, it was almost like what the conference is now. So cars would be lining down the streets down here. So it's a real big thing for us, you know, it was just like the hub and heart of the community. So from the minute I could walk really, I've been going over to the Adders games. You know, and that's kind of what I like about it is the fact that it's handed through different families through the decades. You know, back then it could have been the Shiltons, the Chapmans, and now we've got Mr. Corbett involved, and different families, you know, around the area and the community are like caretakers, and that's passed through generations. And I think they have to be applauded for it, because anyone who gives up the time to volunteer and help the club out, you know, not just on match days, but the bits in between, you know, groundkeepers and doing the pitch and, you know, just keeping the upkeep of the old stadium. I think it's to be applauded.
More than anything I've ever known and worked in football. So you can see tonight we're at training, we've got people here watching. It's a massive heartbeat of the community. It's a place people come at the weekend, all sorts of ages, from young people to multiple generations that are coming to both be around people and have a shared space, if you like, and then obviously to watch the football as well. It's a footballing town, massively important, that people have got something to come and watch and that the lads perform for it. So I've been at loads of clubs. The only other places I've really seen similar is the likes of Nuneaton, so that's the size and scale of where we're at.
But I know certain fans that me and the manager spoke to and done stuff for, they live and breathe, and they were the kind of people that were still here on a Saturday afternoon, you know, painting, decorating. We've seen them at training. It means the world to them.
For me, Dave's a perfect example of that.
He's quite open and honest with it.
He is, absolutely. Dave's routine was very much his Saturday, so he'd work all week, and his weekend was football. And he would come down here, he'd enjoy himself and have a drink, and he'd go into town and obviously socialise. Obviously when we went into that lockdown, that was kind of taken away from him. So he has mentioned it openly that he did struggle during lockdown, and we as a management team kind of seen an opportunity there to come in, and he did, and that's where the volunteering came in place. It allowed him to come in and get involved in the club.
I'm 40 and I've been coming here since I was that big. We're literally from just up the road, Grendon, and this is the first taste of football I had as a child. I used to come down here with my school friends when I was at high school, and then unfortunately Jan didn't want to come to a game of football when we first started seeing each other. Because I used to come regularly, Jan was like, can you take me to a game of football? Can you take me to a game of football? I brought her down here thinking that she wouldn't want to come again, and then Jan got bitten by the bug and was, are we going to the football? Are we going to the football?
So I've been coming here for 11 years now.
It's just really friendly down here. It's just, even if you don't know anybody, when you first come here, you soon get to know everybody, and it's just like I say, it's just a sense of community.
So it's more about that. It's a social. At this level, you're looking at meeting the players. You know the players. You know their families.
Yeah.
And you know what effort they put in, and they can be under pressure from at a local level. You don't. It's so far away from the Premiership, from a financial viewpoint, from a playing viewpoint, but from still being a traditional football club.
It's a unique place. I mean, we go far and wide watching the Adders, and you go to these places that are almost soulless. You know, they're just like, you know, it's a court with, you know, maybe a 3G, which is fine. It's got, you know, mesh around it, one little stand, and that's it really. Car park, soulless. Where that place, you know, it's just got some sort of, you know, it's got some vibe about it. It's a real kind of old-fashioned ground, and I think we have to kind of, that we've got to move forwards, we've still got to preserve part of what the charm of Sheepy Road is, really.
Obviously, all of that's a little bit new to me. I've only done one training session, and I've played against Hinkley in the friendly. But from what I've seen so far, and since coming down and playing against them, you know, it seems a very, very well-knit community. And you know, I always see stuff on social media about all of the volunteers and how much work they put in, sort of off the pitch. So, like, you know, fair play to those guys as well.
Teams, unfortunately, don't bring many away supporters. In fact, when you go through the team averages of crowds, we get between 200 and 300 on a regular basis. But some clubs get as little as 70 and 80. And you know, it's like I said,
it's always been well supported, hasn't it?
In this league, it's one of the best supported clubs, both home and away.
Yeah,
isn't
it is. Yeah.
You know, we take people to. They're always glad to see Atherstone turn up to play because of the volume of away supporters they take with them.
Yeah, 100%. Whilst we don't profess to know, obviously, the amount of impact that it has on the local community and whatnot, I think 300 people going into the town in the morning as a collective group and then going for a drink after or heading back to have a bite to eat with their family is obviously important. And it's a topic of conversation, and that's what's important. It doesn't matter where you go, whether it's a pop into the butchers or a pop into the pub for a drink, people are asking you how the football is and how it's got on. So yeah, massively important.